All right, boys and girls, we are going to be designing your very own rainbow drip inspired by artist Jen Stark. So this is my finished example that I've made. Your drip can either go this way or, so this would be on a piece of paper going vertically up and down like this, okay? Or you can design it horizontally. This one I didn't finish painting just yet, but so you can see the difference in the shape. Do you want yours to be a little bit shorter and wider, or do you want yours to be a little bit skinnier and longer? It is entirely up to you. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with our plain white piece of paper and a pencil. And what you guys are gonna do for the, then to begin drawing, I've decided for this one, I want my paper to go horizontally, okay? So I'm gonna find about the middle of my paper. I'm just gonna use my eyeballs to tell me where the middle is, which is about right there, okay? I just made like a little mark on my paper. I don't need to measure. I'm just kind of, like I said, eyeballing where I think the middle is. Okay, and then we're gonna start with our smallest drip shape first. So we're gonna start with this one. Now, remember that we are going to be painting in between in each of these sections. So you wanna make sure that you leave it big enough that you can stick a paintbrush in there. Okay, so here's the size, probably about the paintbrush that you'll be using, or maybe even a little bit bigger. And, but you wanna leave it big enough so that you have enough space, but you have to be able to make it small enough so that we can make 12 sections. Why do we need 12 sections, you ask? Well, there are 12 colors on the color wheel that we are going to be incorporating in there. And we're only using the primary and the secondary colors to paint our entire drip project. Okay, so you guys are gonna be doing a lot of color mixing. So let's start with that first drip shape. So I suggest you draw lightly so that if you make any mistakes, you can simply erase really easily. So there's my first drip shape, okay? All right, so now what we're gonna do is we are gonna add more drip shapes around that. And when we're drawing them, we're gonna be using parallel lines, okay? So parallel lines, if you haven't learned that in math class, are like train tracks, right? They are two lines that are the same distance away from each other the whole length of the line. So if you look at these two lines right here, right, they are running right next to each other. They never touch, they never intersect, right? They never cross each other. They just run the same distance away from each other that whole length, okay? So that's what you're gonna be doing as you continue on your drip. Okay, so we don't want the spaces to be too big or too small. So here we go. I'm gonna do my parallel line for my next one. Okay, and again, we need 12 sections. So right now I have 2. Now I have 3. So 1, 2, 3. 4. And then I'm gonna continue up to 12. All right, so I just counted all of my sections, and so if I start in the middle here, so this is one section, and I just go out to the side, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 sections, I'm good to go. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to label our sections for the colors of the color wheel. Now I did that on this one and I did it right up along the edge. You probably couldn't even see it whenever I showed my example there, but yeah, if you look really closely, you can see I have all of the labels for all of the colors right there. So you do not have to have red on the inside if you don't want. If you want red to be on the outside or if you want red to be somewhere in the middle, that is totally fine with me. What you do have to have though is the colors in order, okay? The colors have to go in order to make sense. We are learning about our color wheel here. And so we are learning how different colors mix together, the primary colors mix together to make the secondary and the intermediate colors. And so for the color wheel to make sense, the colors have to go in order. And so that's what you guys are asked to do for your project. So this one, I'm gonna make a little bit different. I'm not gonna make red go in the middle. I think I'm gonna make red go off over here. And I don't want you to think about the other side. Just kind of focus from the middle out to one side of your drip right now. And I'm just gonna put my pointer finger here on red, and I'm gonna put red, like I said, right here in the middle. Now, you don't have to write out the whole letter. I just put the letter R right there. And then I'm gonna go towards red orange. So I'm gonna go R, R, O here. Next is orange. Next is yellow orange, yellow, yellow green, and I'm at the end. Okay, so now I need to go back to red. And now I need to go the other way around the color wheel. So I'm at red. Next to red going towards the inside would be red violet, violet, blue violet, blue, blue green, and green is in the middle. And then the next one would be yellow green, but that's on the outside. Okay, so now I have half of it labeled. You want to try to get the other half to be the same, okay? So that you know the whole way across, like what color is supposed to be where. So for example, you can see on this one, like green is right here. And if I followed the whole way around, I also put green up here, just so I was aware on both sides what's what, right? So it's the same on this side. If you follow it over, it's the same label of the color goes over here. So green's in the middle. The next one going out is blue-green. So I'm following along in the same order that I wrote them here. The next one is blue, blue-violet, violet, red-violet, red, red-orange, orange, yellow-orange, yellow, and yellow-green. So I want to double and triple check all of these with you guys before we move on to painting so that everybody can make sure that their colors are perfect. Okay, so next step though is to outline with Sharpie. So I'm gonna give you guys Sharpies. It might be a thick one like this, it might be a thinner one, it might not even be a Sharpie. But now we're going to carefully outline all of our lines. Don't go over your color names with Sharpie. But while you're outlining, remember to keep your lines parallel. So none of those Sharpie lines should cross over each other and intersect. And remember to leave space between all of your lines so that you can paint between there. All right, so our drip is drawn, outlined, and labeled. All of the colors are good. Make sure you check those. Now we're ready to paint.